this guy over here doing? He's going, well, wait a minute. Right now, we have 10,000 PCs that we're using on our desktops in this division. How many of those are we not using? You know, this is the sort of thing where every organization has a certain amount of turnover, and at any given time a certain percentage of their jobs that are vacant. Let's say that you have a 5% vacancy rate at any given time. I mean, you're in the process of trying to find new people to fill those positions that have recently vacated, but let's say it takes you an average of 3 months to go through a recruitment, a search, an interview, an approval, a hiring, a bringing on, initial training. I mean, all of that happens. Maybe it takes an average of 3 months from the time the old person leaves to the time the new person comes on board. During those 3 months, if you have no reason to do otherwise, why wouldn't you just leave the desk empty with a PC on the desk? I mean, why not? But if you're paying $2,000 a year for a PC, and you multiply that by 5% of your 10,000 PCs, you might all of a sudden go, I know how I can save about $1 million off my IT budget this year. Every time somebody leaves, let's get IT in here to remove that PC. And for the next 3 months, we're going to go without. And then you have other folks in the company. You look inside your organization, and maybe you have a certain part of your organization that's dealing with customer service. And you've got 24-hour customer service, so you have 3 shifts of people each day coming on board. And the folks that are in on first shift have their own PC. The folks that are in on second shift have their own PC. The folks that are in on third shift have their own PC. And once you're looking at a chargeback model, like we've just talked about here, and you're paying $2,000 a PC per year, you're now motivated to triple those folks up and go, you're all using one PC now. One person on first shift using the same PC as their counterpart on second shift, same PC as their counterpart on third shift. We can have different logins if you want, but that's going to eliminate a bunch of PCs. And so what you see is the customer at this point is motivated to become a more prudent buyer of IT services. And now let's look at the other kind of product, the transfer product. This unit, maybe the bank says, hey, we need a new database. Okay, new database. And it needs to have 1 million records. We've got 1 million customer records. In this database. And they go to ITCO and they say, spec this out for me. And ITCO comes back and it says, all right, well, it's going to cost us $500,000 to produce this 1 million record database for you. With the transfer product model, they don't come back and say it's going to cost us $500,000 to produce this. They estimate that it's going to cost them $500,000 to produce this. And then what they tell you is we're going to put in a database system at 50 cents per customer record. Oh, well, that's interesting, because that now motivates these people to do what? Motivates them to scrub their database. Motivates them to be more efficient about their records management. Because if they can, now that they know they're paying 50 cents per record, they're going, hey, if we can get this down to 900,000 records, then this isn't going to cost us $500,000. It's only going to cost us $450,000, and there's a $50,000 savings. Okay, so what we see with this sort of event is that the customer is motivated now to become a shrewder, more educated, prudent consumer of IT resources, whether you're using the core model or the transfer model of products. What's the motivation look like from ITCO's side? Well, let's look at this. ITCO says, hey, these guys are paying us $2,000 a year to keep a PC on the desktop. Let's figure out how we can do that for $1,800 a year. And the other $200 a year is profit to us. So all of a sudden you see ITCO motivated in a whole new way that they've never been motivated before to figure out how do we get less expensive PCs in here, how do we improve the way we're supporting these PCs with our customer service, our installation services, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Improve those processes, increase the efficiency so we can drive our overhead down. Because why? Because the savings ends up in our pockets. It ends up profit. It ends up being our guarantee of a job next year. Okay, and on the transfer product side, same deal. We spec'd out 50 cents a customer record. Great, they're going to pay us 50 cents a customer record. Let's figure out how we can do this for 40 cents a customer record. Maybe we spec this with Oracle databases. Maybe we figured out if we go to Microsoft-based SQL Server databases that we can do this for a lot less expense. Or maybe in our forecasting, we're here with a customer helping to forecast his future growth, and we see that this 1 million customer records is going to grow to be 2 million customer records over the next year. And our economies of scale are going to be in what we put in now, because charging them 50 cents a record for 2 million records is going to give us significant profits. And so, at any rate, there are all kinds of opportunities here to improve the efficiency of how IT services are provided, and that then becomes the secret to how ITCO became more profitable, and at the same time they were driving IT costs down for the organization. So we see there's two components to the solution. One is the training of IT management to be more business-minded. And we've already shown how that's increasing both business and improving customer satisfaction, which were the two metrics of success that ITCO was gauged against. The other is a chargeback system that's designed to motivate both the supplier and the consumer to each on their own, for their own selfish reasons, to become more efficient in the way IT is consumed and provided. All right, so that was really at the heart of this solution. And the product model made life easier for the customer, because the customer now had a simpler business model for budgeting. They knew that the cost per new customer record was going to be 50 cents a customer record. And that's something that made it easier for them to do business projections and business budgeting. Okay, and as Harman Carswell says here, it's a simple principle. If I were a customer, I'd want to know what my cost is and some kind of proof through benchmarking that it's a good price. Okay. So competitive pricing, in fact, is critical to ITCO's success. And we've seen how that's been implemented here. So at this point, it also allows ITCO to do the benchmarking against the competition. Say, hey, we're providing you this at 50 cents a customer database record. Do you have any idea what IBM Global Services will do? We do. We've gone out and priced it. They're going to charge you 65 cents a customer record. And by the way, EDS is going to charge you 70 cents a customer record. So you can see that you're getting more bang for the buck. You're getting higher quality service at a lower price from us. And again, that motivates the ITCO customer to stay at home, so to speak. Again, we've talked about how forecasting was something that was very important for them to get good at. If you can't forecast customer demand, that's going to get you in trouble. It's a fundamental business